Welcome to another episode of Go Team Score Points, a podcast for those who want to distract themselves from the news for 30 to 45 minutes and learn about the NBA instead. Each episode focuses on one NBA game from that week. An NBA beginner Irish, that's me, and longtime NBA fan Sam.
That's me.
Learn more about NBA games, people, and current events. In today's show, we talk about the Suns Timberwolves game. It's our best episode yet. We have so much to talk about this week. So much happened in the last week in basketball.
I know.
Plus, two big events happened.
In the NBA.
The Grizzlies coach was fired.
Yeah.
And then there was the brawl in the Pistons Timberwolves game.
Yeah.
Should we start with the reviews?
Yeah, I think we should.
I got one review from my mom who said, "You talk a lot."
You'll have to see how mean this sounds when you're editing. But my dad goes, my dad just had his birthday. Happy birthday. He just had his birthday, and I called, and my family back in the States was like on a Zoom call.
Oh, yeah.
He like picked up and he was like trying to navigate the phone and Zoom and
A lot.
like, yeah, exactly. It was a lot. He goes, "Hey, we just got done listening to your last episode." And I go, "Was it our best episode yet?" And he's like, no. Which made me laugh, but we didn't get into it any further because he was on a Zoom call. So that doesn't mean it wasn't good, but he didn't feel like it was our best episode. But you just sent some more strangers, right?
Yeah, we got another comment.
Full episode.
Yeah.
You got our most viewed short ever.
Yeah.
This week. Over 1,000 views.
Over 1,000.
Unbelievable. Ruby had a review.
Oh, yeah. Ruby said that short was very 2017. What did she say? Not musically. Vines, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, 12 other people disagreed with you because they liked it.
They liked it, yeah. And then on the full episode last week, Eduardo Marina said, "Never in history saw as many games as we watch today. I watch in 1 year more games than Michael Jordan fans watched in the whole trash 90s decade." I missed trash the first time. That's funny. Well, thanks, Edgardo Murnia. Murnia? I think I said Marina. Murnia, sorry. Pretty sure those were all the reviews.
Oh, I have a fact checked by friends.
Good.
Okay, Scoot Henderson. I said he played in the G League. I said that to August. And he said, no, Scoot Henderson did not play in the G League. He played in the G League Ignite.
Okay, so that was fact checked.
Yeah.
G League Ignite. I didn't know that. I didn't know those were different things.
Well, now we know. We're both learning things. Okay, current events. So many current events happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Grizzlies coach got fired. I don't know anything more about it except that it was a total surprise.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Not very much. And it doesn't seem like there's much to know. So the things that I've read were that like players were not consulted about this. There are like a few instances of a time in NBA history where a coach just like kind of, they call it like loses the locker room. They're just, the guys are not.
But that's not the case here.
It didn't seem like he wasn't like losing their trust. Or before the season, they fired like a bunch of his assistant coaches, but not him. They said their offense has been very strange this year. Like there's some things that like all teams seem to do a lot. So one of the things that a lot of teams do is just set a screen for the person dribbling the ball. There are a lot of good reasons to do that. You can sort of, like if LeBron James has the ball and he sees a person that he knows he can beat, he'll have the person who is being guarded by the person LeBron thinks he can beat. Mm-hmm. So that person come set a screen for him to try to get what they call a switch. So now that person would be guarding LeBron. The details aren't that important, but like the Grizzlies don't seem to do that. They've like run less ball screens than anyone else in the league. Is that a reason to fire your coach with 9 games left or what?
I don't think it is.
So if they were bad, then it wouldn't be that shocking.
Right.
Because it'd be like, let's try this interim coach.
Right.
See how that goes. And then we can even have a head start on like the coaching cycle as the summer comes. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they're good, like the one time someone got fired, I think it was Alvin Gentry or someone who got fired because he like lost the locker room. No one cared to play for him anymore. The other time that it's happened was with the Celtics and Ime Udoka, they had just lost to the Warriors in the finals and they were coming back. And then like 3 days before the season, he got fired. But then it came out that it was like a PR harassment. Like he was having an inappropriate relationship with someone on the staff. So he got fired then. And like so far, there's just like nothing about Jenkins. Like it doesn't.
There's got to be some sort of scandal.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Like he was betting. Like there's something that he broke a rule, I think.
I got to believe it. It just like really doesn't make sense. It really does not make sense. And like in that way, it reminds me a little bit of Luka. Like there's something that we don't know. Like, was he just impossible to work with? Did John Morant, who's the Grizzlies' best player, was he like, obviously have no inside knowledge, but it has to be something. It just doesn't make any sense for like a midseason. I heard like some rumblings through podcasts that I listened to that Ja was like kind of unhappy with that offense, with the offense they were running. It's very weird. I don't know that there's a explainable answer available to us.
Okay.
Maybe more will come out.
I hope so. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. You didn't get on that rail with the GM.
It just seems like a weird time to fire someone.
Completely.
So like even if they didn't get along, it's like, okay, right before the playoffs?
Yeah, I know.
Which could happen at any time.
I know.
No one knows when.
Nobody knows. It's so hard to know. They haven't won since he got fired either. They haven't, like when the Kings coach got fired early in the season and then they won whatever, like 6 out of their next 7 games or something like that. And the Grizzlies have
so awkward.
Yeah, the Grizzlies have not done that.
Wouldn't that be the worst? You got fired and then the team like just took off.
Like seeing your ex with Heidi Klum and then what was the other one?
The brawl.
The brawl. Do you have thoughts on the brawl?
I was like, I want to watch this game, see what happens.
Yeah.
Chose the Pistons stream because Special K, George Blaha, 2 of my favorite announcers.
Yeah.
They're so good. So I was like, I want to see what these guys have to say about this. Yeah. So I've seen the play before. And this is not news to anybody who knows about basketball who watches this show because like everybody has dissected this. But when I watched it, it was like, hold on, I took notes on it. Okay. DiVincenzo rams into this guy, Fontecchio, and they both fall down. And when they get up, Stewart pushes Chinzo and Gobert steps in and is like, don't do that. And then Stewart pushes Gobert and then Gobert puts his finger in his face. And then a guy throws a free throw. And then you see Stewart talking trash to Chinzo. And then Naz Reid goes up for a layup and misses. And then he shakes his finger in Holland's face. And then Chinzo shoves Holland really hard. And then Naz Reid tries to pull Holland back. And then Stewart and number 28 on the Pistons, so I don't know who that is, they come in. So like, it just like escalated really fast. Then it's on, like everybody comes rushing. So like Special K and George Blaha are like, this is going to take a while. You should just go get a drink and come back in a few minutes because they need to get Secaucus to review this.
But real steady, right?
So like super calm, just like these kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one thing that they had said that I didn't notice is that it was confusing because both teams' coaches' staff were wearing black quarter zips.
Oh.
So like everybody was wearing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
what I heard, did the coaches get in trouble? Were they yelling at each other?
Coaches got ejected from the game.
Were they yelling at each other too?
This is a graphic I made. It's called Timberwolves Pistons Game Night. This lady, and she thinks it's funny at first. And then in the next picture, you can't really see her. You can see the top of her head. And then in the next picture, you see her head. And then in the next picture, she's like, oh no. And
is that her face? Is there one where you can see her face looking up? Oh, and she's holding.
She sat up afterwards. Now,
that's a great graphic.
Here's another thing. The guy sitting next to her, I don't know if it's her partner. I don't know if she knows this guy, but the guy sitting right next to her, he does not stop filming the entire time. You can see his bright green phone like above he doesn't stop.
As these giant men are killing each other.
Yes, and his maybe wife or partner or sister or
fellow human being,
coworker, the person next to him, it's like
just getting crushed on trucks.
Under these huge people fighting.
Yeah,
and he's just like doing the Lord's work of recording it for everybody. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, not all heroes wear capes.
That's right.
That's great.
Yeah.
20 years ago there was something called the Malice in the Palace. The Pistons played the Pacers, and there was like a fight that went into the stands, like ugly, like I think like players fighting with fans, kind of thing.
That's not fair.
No, they're so big.
Yeah.
They're strong for their jobs.
Yeah.
We are not. I'm sure the NBA like head office is like, we want this out. We do not want this.
I'm sure.
As part of our image. And
they're like, this is not the NHL.
Right. Exactly.
You want to hear about this game?
Yeah, I do.
I watched the Timberwolves play the Suns.
Yeah.
Which is a celebration because that was the first basketball game I ever watched.
How far you've come.
First time I saw Devin Booker.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's that handsome player? Oh, he's an ex of a Kardashian or a Jenner. One of them.
Yeah. Okay,
so I watched the Suns feed because it's my 2 other favorites, K-Ray and Eddie Johnson.
Nice.
They're so great. This was played at the Target Center in Minnesota, and they were playing Prince at the start of the game.
Oh.
I really like that.
Yeah, me too.
The last 7 times these 2 teams have matched up, the Timberwolves have won.
Whoa.
Yeah. So the Suns were ready for a comeback.
No.
Didn't happen. Quarter 1, why is everyone standing? I texted you, why is everybody standing? Do they do this until they score a point? Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing in Minnesota. I think a lot of college, I think Duke, at Duke, it's kind of famously they stand up and yell and jump. It's just until Duke scores their first point. But I think at college games like that, they're probably standing most of the time anyway, the student section.
Maybe people are just late.
Could be.
And everyone's just walking in. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, right away. So it was 21-10 Minnesota. The Suns challenge and they lose.
Okay.
It was just a rough start. Anthony Edwards gets hurt.
Oh.
The basketball player.
Oh.
Not the actor.
Oh, thanks.
He collided with Kevin Durant. He was out for a quarter of the game. And then he came back.
Yeah.
K-Ray and Eddie Johnson were talking about how these young players can bounce back like that. It just takes him 1 quarter and he's fine.
Yeah.
He's like, that would take me 10 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you know that Kevin Durant is like Anthony Edwards' hero? So like in last year's playoffs, the Timberwolves beat the Suns.
Oh yeah.
And it was like a little bit of Anthony Edwards like coming out party like
Oh.
during those playoffs like that. Not just like a really good player, like potential
Yeah.
top 5 in the league kind of
Yeah.
player. And some of the talk was about how he like oftentimes in a player's like a really special player's career, they'll have like an ascendant moment. Well, you know what I mean? When it's, and that felt like it could have been his.
That's when they're pushing you out on the ice floe.
Yeah, exactly.
Anthony Edwards is pushing Kevin Durant out.
It's time to go out to pasture. But then it was funny because the Olympics were like Kevin Durant was amazing in the Olympics on that team. And
okay, quarter 2. I put together a video of a woman who I think is an unsung hero.
Yeah.
I never noticed these people. She must be a game ops kind of person sitting on the sidelines waiting.
But maybe only Kevin Durant's person. Like, right? Wasn't she following Kevin Durant?
I don't know. It could be. Does each person have their own jersey person?
I don't know.
So I saw 2 different ones on the right side and this woman on the left side. So she's waiting. And then when a player gets up to go and like get ready to play, they're like wearing warm clothes so they stay warm.
Yeah.
But then they don't want to wear that when they're playing basketball.
Probably not even allowed to.
Probably not. Yeah. So they take it off and they throw it on the ground.
Right.
This woman gets up and like walks and like the very like sneaks as much as she can. You could tell she's like trying to make herself invisible. Just like sneaks by and then like crouches down. And she has to wait in that crouched down position for like 5 minutes. I was like, my knees, I couldn't do it.
That's hilarious.
It would be like, can I please sit?
Just give me your shirt. Go sit down.
Let's just go.
Yeah.
And then she like sneaks back off and then she straightens it out and like folds it and gets it perfect. I mean, the whole thing takes like 15 minutes. She is very focused.
Did you put it back on the chair?
She put it somewhere, I can't remember where, but it was like away. And then she was ready to go again.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot of work.
Yeah. That's funny.
And it's interesting, she was wearing gloves. The guy who was going to the other side, because there were 2 people waiting at the same time. I just focused on the one woman. But then as she was waiting there, a player on the Suns came up and had someone with them. And that guy was not wearing gloves. So it must be personal preference.
You think that's its own job? Is that her only job with the Suns?
Here's what I imagine, and we could probably check this. We should check with Doug.
Okay.
But I wonder if like one night she'll do that, and then maybe there's like a crew of people who do like the things right there. So maybe like one night she does that, and then the next game she has to like do the mopping thing when they run out, mop the floor between plays.
Yeah.
Water bottles. Yeah.
You think the visiting team brings that person?
This is something I did think about. Did this person travel with the team?
Right.
And then I thought, no, I would bet this is local.
A Target Center worker.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just my assumption. Gosh, I wish we should get her on.
Yes. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully she's watching. Sure. Okay, then it's 57-45 Timberwolves. I don't think the Suns ever. Okay, so Anthony Edwards only played 9 minutes in the first half because of the elbow to the face. It was a nasal contusion.
Ooh.
The PR team came back and told the announcers that. Huh. And then he was back in quarter 3. Eddie says he's never seen someone miss an entire quarter and then come back. So the Suns aren't really playing well. So it says in my notes. Eddie Johnson sounds pretty frustrated with them. He's pointing out things like the Timberwolves are playing this double team move again and again and again. So he's like frustrated that like the way he was saying it sounded kind of like they're doing the most obvious things and the Suns are not prepared for it. Like what is happening?
There is a solution.
That's what it sounded like. Shinzo steals the ball and passes it to Anthony Edwards, who dunks it. Very impressive.
Yeah, he can fly.
Yeah, then Gobert dunks again. He's playing really well.
Gobert.
Yeah, he played really well this game.
As we approach the playoffs, the Timberwolves are like a team to keep an eye on. It seems like every year there's a team that like doesn't quite have it together in the first part of the season and figures their stuff out and makes a deepish playoff run. And last year it was the Mavs, who were like pretty average until the spring, and then in their last however many games, 20-5 to close the season, or something. You know what I mean? Like a really good record at the end. And the Celtics did it the year before that, and went all the way to the finals. The Timberwolves are one of those teams, and the Warriors actually too. The Warriors kind of just keep winning. They might be like 20-5 or in that neighborhood since they got Butler. So anyway, keep an eye on the Timberwolves. It's fun that you got to watch them. Okay, so then the Timberwolves win 124-109. Womp womp. Okay, the announcers did not disappoint. I love these two. They're great. They did not move. My chart did not change. I love it.
I know. I like them.
The Suns are just the opposite. They're just such a bummer.
It's
like they just should not be this bad, and they're this bad. Yeah,
get them next time, guys.
I guess.
Yeah,
we've talked about it a little bit. Kevin Durant is like a really special player,
right?
Like best, certainly in the best 20 of all time. And his career's been so funny. Like he was drafted by Seattle. Like that's no the Celtics haven't been a team since like 2008.
Yeah.
And then that franchise moved to Oklahoma City, and they were really good then. He was on a team with Russell Westbrook and James Harden, and they went to the finals, and then they lost to LeBron's team in the finals. And then when his time in Oklahoma City was up, he went to the Warriors and won 2 championships with Steph Curry, and then wasn't super maybe 3, I think maybe just 2 with the Warriors, and then left there because he wasn't super happy with the situation. He like had a really gruesome Achilles injury and missed like a season and a half. It was like it was disgusting. It was really bad. And then everyone's like, is he going to be okay? Is he going to be good again? And he went to the Nets and was like awesome there as a player, and they made a deep playoff run. And he wasn't happy there. Then he went to the Suns, and now I don't think he's like super happy. It's like it's been a very strange career for him, and I don't know how he's going to be remembered.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted you. The announcers.
Okay, they did a really good job.
Still solid.
So great. Okay, here are some of the things they said. Turnovers have been their bugaboo.
Mm-hmm.
This was not who was saying it at the beginning of our podcast. At the beginning, it was Chris Marlowe and Scott Hastings are the ones who kept using bugaboo, and we looked it up.
Yeah, it wasn't quite right.
Right. They're using it the same way. Okay. It was the third quarter when Anthony Edwards went completely bonkers. Love it. Eddie Johnson says, Grayson has a way of irritating me.
About a Suns player?
Yeah.
But that's his team, right?
Yeah, I think they're kind of like...
Oh, I love that. No, you like that.
These guys by this point in the year.
Totally.
I think they're like, we've been announcing for this team for years, and like, they seemed kind of annoyed.
Yeah, they're not very good.
Yeah. Kevin Durant's elbow caught his face. That's what he was talking, Anthony Edwards. When he got hit in when he got the nasal contusion. Caught his face.
Very kind way to say that.
Okay, then Gobert dunks, and K-Ray says, like a French pastry, eats it up. It's like, oh boy. And then Eddie Johnson starts joking around about how he can beat K-Ray in a 100-yard dash.
Oh.
That was just really funny.
You said that he was almost like annoyed that the Timberwolves were doing something so obvious and simple that there was like a pretty obvious fix for.
Seemed like it. That's like
what
I think he was saying.
What a funny experience. I wonder how many ex-coaches, not ex-players, but ex-coaches become longtime broadcasters. And
then watch it and they're like, oh, I would do things differently.
Totally. Try to give advice, like yell down the sideline.
Mm-hmm. You know, throw down a whiteboard with the with the court.
Yeah, with the play drawn.
X's and
the
O's.
Correct play.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay, I looked up some information about Naz Reid.
Great.
I didn't know anything about this guy. So he plays for Minnesota.
Yeah.
Do you know about this guy?
Not very much. He was maybe 6th man of the year last year.
He was. Good job.
And it was when Karl Anthony Towns got traded in the offseason to the Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns is a really good player.
Yes.
Got traded to the Knicks. Everyone was kind of like, is Naz Reid up for this?
Yeah, and he's doing great.
He's doing great.
So I was curious because they said when he rolled his ankle, and they said he's playing like someone who was undrafted.
Yeah.
And so I looked it up, and it's very confusing because he was when he was in high school, he was a member of the Jellyfam. Okay, let me tell you about that. And his nickname was Big Jelly.
Oh, I like that.
So what is Jelly? Okay, there was a group of kids in high school, and they were called the Jellyfam, and they had this move that they called the Jelly. And so I said to August, what is a Jelly? And August said, it's like a layup or a finger roll, except essentially it's like where you go up and you fake to like dunk or do a layup, and then you bring it back down and you like spin it off the glass so that it can like go in. So you like fake and then you go around and you spin it.
Wow.
That's called a Jelly. And he was like one of these people in the Jellyfam, and he's the only one of this group who is in the league. Okay, so Naz Reid played for LSU, and then this is what it said. After going undrafted in 2019, he signed with the Timberwolves on July 5th, 2019 on a 2-way contract with the Timberwolves G League affiliate, the Iowa Wolves. Then he played for Minnesota in the Summer League of 2019. So getting drafted means only just drafted to the NBA. So going undrafted, because it sounds like he got drafted in 2019. But I guess going a 2-way contract doesn't count as being drafted.
No, so the draft is like a very specific, like the people declare themselves eligible for the NBA draft. Like as soon as March Madness is over, a bunch of players are going to say like, I'm
also eligible for the draft.
Right.
I'm declaring it.
Yeah, in case anyone's interested. And then the draft, I don't know if NBA, how many rounds the NBA draft is, but it's like 2 or 3 or something like that. And the teams, they go through team by team and say like, I'm going to pick this person, I'm going to pick this person. Mm-hmm. And they only do that for so many rounds until the draft is over. And then they're welcome to sign anyone, you included, who's willing to play for them. Like they're welcome to do that, but that's different than being drafted to play.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not, so even though he was undrafted, like things were like moving along for him.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
So when he was in high school, he lived with his mom and his two sisters, and he went to this Catholic school that was like an hour away, and he could only get there by bus, city bus. And so he was just like, it was just a really long commute. And then there was a family on the team who noticed that he was like really struggling, and so this guy Rudy Roundtree let him move in, and then like just like took care of him. His mom was like reluctant at first and let him. And then Naz Reid went to LSU, and Rudy quit his job and moved to Louisiana to like help support Nas Reed. And like they were super close. And they would like Rudy moved with him to Minnesota and would like do the drive with him back and forth to Iowa. And then Rudy died a couple years ago. It was like really devastating for Nas Reed. Oh, here's something fun though. Mm-hmm. Minnesota loves Nas Reed. He's like fan favorite.
Like Aaron Gordon of Minnesota?
I think so. Yeah. They said it because that Naz Reid is like a secret handshake. And last year they had like, I think it was last year, like Naz Reid beach towel night, kind of like the Western cowboy hat night at the Suns last week. But this was, everyone got a beach towel that says Naz Reid.
Okay.
No one else. It's not like a Timberwolves towel or any other player. It's just him.
Yeah.
And people loved it.
Yeah.
And sometimes now it goes on eBay for like $100.
Oh, wow.
And here's what I love about Wikipedia is that at the end of this article about Naz Reid, Wikipedia went full Wikipedia, which I love. So let me read you some of the additional things at the end of this Wikipedia article about Naz Reid. During their 2024 playoff series against the Nuggets, a tattoo artist in Roseville offered $20 tattoos of Naz Reid's name. Over 200 people took him up on it. Later that month, a local pizzeria went viral for their honk if you love Naz Reid sign. Wow.
Yeah.
Must have been a lot of honking.
Yeah.
A contestant on Jeopardy even revealed she named her cat after him. In addition, an English cream golden retriever in Fargo, North Dakota was named after him. Naz Reid Bolin.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah.
Feels like local news.
It does. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like Wikipedia, just
love it so much.
Whoever had it in.
Okay, do you want to play a game?
Yeah, I do.
Let me tell you about this game that I co-wrote with ChatGPT. So, and I have barely read these.
Great.
For you. Okay. Sam, would you still love the Celtics if they moved to LA and became the LA Celtics for tax reasons?
Oof. That is a good question. This exact Celtics team roster, it's in Los Angeles now. I think I would probably end up still rooting for that team. I think. Okay. I like the players, but I would feel really different.
Yeah.
It would feel really different. So would you still love me?
Oh, is it? Did it make it personal?
Would you still love user's name if? How do you feel about it being Jim? Would you still love Jim? Does that feel okay? Or
well, let me hear.
Would you still love Jim if he became the official commentator for middle school baseball and took it very seriously?
That's right. Yes, but only if I didn't have to go. That would actually be perfect.
Oh, right.
Because then he would be fully involved.
Right. Right.
Okay. So maybe we'll get Jim into that.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Okay. Would you still love the Celtics if every timeout included a mandatory viewing of Emily in Paris on the Jumbotron?
Oh, I would shut it off. It would cause me to shut it off.
Like, what's the threshold? Like 10 seconds?
Yeah, it would not take.
Or like 5 seconds.
Well, because I don't like my attention isn't held then anyway. And if it was like a negative stimulus, like forget it.
Okay. I hope they're listening.
Yeah.
And don't make this change.
Yeah, I don't see that partnership anytime too soon. Okay. Would you still love Jim if he joined an adult kickball league and wouldn't shut up about team chemistry?
I would be so shocked.
Yeah.
If he talked, I would need to go and watch those games.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And see that chemistry.
Yours have both been positive.
Because these would be like so funny.
Yeah. Yes.
Would you still love the Celtics if they won the NBA Finals, but their jerseys were purple and gold the whole season?
Wow. I like a jersey. Would it be? I like there's a name for them, like an alternate jersey. I love an alternate jersey.
Oh, okay.
But purple and gold? No, I'd be into it.
Okay. Good.
Would you still love Jim if he started training for a Tough Mudder and posted inspirational gym selfies with captions like "No pain, no gain"?
That'd be hard.
Yeah.
Would I still love him? I will always love Jim. I wouldn't tell people about that.
Right. That's a better word for these because you're going to love Jim no matter what. Would you tell people if? I like that. Okay, I'm going to change it.
Okay. Would you still love the Celtics if they banned defense and played like the 2017 All-Star game forever? Check out personal.
Yeah. which one the 2017 All-Star game was.
Well, apparently they didn't play
No
defense.
defense.
This seems like it's specific, like it's trying to hurt your feelings.
I wonder do you think it listens to our podcast? Can it do that?
Is it the best episode?
Yeah. You tell my dad. No, I would not. No, I wouldn't be into that.
Mhm.
Still love the Celtics if that happened.
Okay. Would you still love the Celtics if Larry Bird admitted in a press conference that he always thought Magic Johnson was, quote, hotter and better at basketball?
I bet he would admit
Really?
that. Yeah, I bet he would admit that in a press conference. Yeah, I would still love it.
Oh, okay.
I would still love it. Okay, would you tell people about it if Jim started a podcast about middle school sports and called it The Real MVPs?
So funny.
Yeah.
This is so cheesy.
Yeah. Would you tell people about it if Jim canceled plans every week to go to intramural dodgeball practice and told everyone to respect the hustle?
I would not tell people about that.
Okay. Good game. Good job, ChatGPT.
Yeah, good job, ChatGPT. Okay, so MVP. I choose the warm-up clothing collector lady.
That was my first thought too.
Yeah.
I'll go Anthony Edwards. I think he's been really good, and I think the Timberwolves might win a couple rounds in the playoffs.
I think they might.
They've been really good.
LVP?
I mean, the Suns, throw a dart and whoever you hit on the Suns.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
That's too bad. I agree.
Yeah.
The Suns.
Yeah. What'd you learn?
Jelly.
Yeah.
Big jelly.
I think I could say the same, but that's got to be what I learned. But the Nas Reed stuff was pretty good too.
Yeah.
And then what confused you this week?
I guess I'm confused that the brawl was confusing in that, like, I don't know, watching it was confusing because I didn't know who was fighting and who was trying to break it up. That was like generally confusing.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the Suns again. Our first repeat winner.
Yeah.
They should not be this bad.
That is confusing.
Yeah. That'll be mine. But the fight was confusing too. And why'd that guy get fired?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
pretty confusing week now that I think about it.
Yeah. So much stuff.
Yeah. So much stuff.
Hey, well, I think that's it.
Think we did it?
I think we did it.
Good job.
Good job.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Go Team Score Points. Today's episode was edited by Irish. Information for this episode came from August, Wikipedia, and the TikTok account at StrictlyBball. You can reach us at goteamscorepoints@gmail.com. Next week, we will be watching the Oklahoma City Thunder Lakers game, the first one. See you then.